Were you expecting anyone?
Maybe it's the Frugality Police come to give us an award.
Frugality Department, routine inspection. Have you two been using any paper towels?
Never.
What about pre-grated cheese?
That stuff is 50% mystery dust.
Is that an avo slicer that I see? Tisk, tisk. I'm going to have to write you up for that one. I mean, an avo slicer. You two should know better. "2025 is our no-spend year. We're playing catch-up for retirement, so for this year we're trying to be as frugal as possible.
Recently we made a video about Dutch frugal habits, but for this one we're going old school.
Yes, we've got a bunch of old-fashioned frugal habits that we think need to make a comeback in 2025.
Except the one from your nana, actually.
Yeah, that should probably stay in the past.
I think we might share that one at the end, just for a bit of fun.
Yeah, so stick around to find out what it is.
So we're doing something slightly different in this video, which is actually pretty fun. We asked our viewers to send us suggestions and ideas for old-fashioned frugal habits or tips.
Yeah.
So we're going to run through those.
Yeah, we got a really nice bunch of things. So thanks everyone who shared their tips with us. They're actually really cool. So Cynthia Raymer suggested a pantry challenge, which we actually quite enjoy as well. That's like using up everything in your pantry before you go out shopping again.
Yeah, so she calls it shopping your pantry, which I thought was amazing. And then you do your shopping in your pantry and your fridge and wherever else you're stashing your stuff that you're not using.
Yeah, you can get super creative.
Yeah.
So that's a cool one. Minimalist retiree. She's got a bunch. So there's cook from scratch, owning minimal kitchen appliances, which I know they do that in the blue zones as well. Obviously, repairing your clothing and repurposing it instead of rushing out and buying new stuff. Oh, and the last one is cool. Instead of spending money on entertainment, prioritize simple things like hikes or walks or picnics. Picnics.
Love myself a picnic.
If you watched the last video, you'll know about the picnics.
You can't do enough picnics.
No. Joanne is following on from the pantry vibes with a different idea, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
She said, like, make sure that your pantry is always stocked, because that way you've got no excuse to say, oh, I have to get takeout or go out for fast food or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's like simple and smart.
Yeah, very smart. Okay, this is an interesting one from AWOL Qual.
Interesting name. Yeah.
Yes. So they say that save vegetable scraps for homemade stock to add flavour and reduce waste.
Yeah, that's really clever. I mean, we compost our stuff, but I haven't thought about it from that point of view to make a kind of a veggie stock. So
yeah, we should try that actually, because we eat so many veggies. It's definitely worth a bash.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Good tip for us to add.
Yep. Marinade Crisp.
These YouTube names are quite entertaining, I must say.
So only buy things, food included, that can be used more than once.
Yeah, so we actually had to give this a little bit of thought, because it's a super clever idea, but we started thinking, okay, what would that look like? And then we came up with things like coffee, because then the coffee grinds can be used in the garden or in composting.
And then obviously from the previous comment, vegetable offcuts can be used as stock.
Yeah.
And then if you eat eggs, you can use your eggshells for feeding your garden as well, if your plants lack calcium.
There are actually lots of things you can do with eggshells. I saw an article recently, which I'll link below for you. It was fascinating. Some people were even taking the half an eggshell and using it to plant seedlings in.
Oh, wow.
Okay? That's super smart.
Yeah, that's very smart.
So
And then maybe the seedling can use the eggshell for calcium.
I have no idea.
Okay.
whose ever tip this was, please leave in the comments any other things that we didn't think about, because we thought this was such a great tip.
Yeah, exactly. SW8234, Natural Personal Care Hacks. So, this was a great one. This really
You love this
me.
idea,
Yeah.
eh?
Haven't started yet though. Using baking soda with peppermint oil as toothpaste. We're actually nearing the end of our last toothpaste tube. So I think do we have oil that we can use? Eucalyptus?
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay, so we're giving that some thought. And then the homemade deodorant that you apply to, baking soda that you apply to damp skin.
Sporty was very excited about this, but recently Sporty was also very excited about bulk buying very natural deodorant that was on special. So we're halfway through the first tub and we still have another full one. So unless you're planning to try in between, it's going to be a while.
I think I'm going to try in between because, obviously I'll use up the other one, but I'm fascinated because it's one ingredient.
Yeah.
And they said that it was the best deodorant they've ever used, most effective.
We shall get back to you on that,
Yes.
whether or not Sporty does it.
Well, we can only get back to them if I do it. If I don't do it, what are we going to say? Sporty didn't do it.
Captain Obvious. Anyway, on to Bohemian Dollhouse's tips. She says that you must live debt-free, which we are all about, and so was my granny, so that's definitely a cool old-fashioned tip. Spend below your means. I think she's channeling my granny, that's for sure. My nana said all of these things. Cooking from scratch, growing a garden.
Yep.
I don't know if Nana had a garden, but my Oma on the farm did. So, and then mend clothing.
Yeah, I mean those are all great tips and all very, very frugal.
Yeah, all frugal and pretty old-fashioned. I don't know how many people are doing that nowadays. Maybe they are.
Yeah, no, I think people are going back to it. I think that's why you're seeing these videos on YouTube.
And now, so those are all the ones from our viewers, and now we've got a couple that Sporty remembers from her youth.
Yeah, so one of them, and I'm sure many of you will know about this, is my granny, or my Omi. She used to cut soap bars in half. And obviously at the time I just thought, oh, granny, why are you doing that? But if you think about it, the surface area of a soap is so much, but if you cut it in half, it's less, which means you'll use less. And apparently it also doesn't get as soggy if the pieces are smaller. I don't know about that.
So it doesn't waste away. Anyway, I think you found an article, so we'll link the article, but it sounded like a really good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously it worked, otherwise she wouldn't have done it the whole time.
And now that we're using bar soap again, we can also try it.
We can give it a bash.
Yes.
And then when there was, I can't even remember why she did it, but my mum went through a phase where she counted out toilet paper squares for us. So for number ones. And I don't even know, I mean, maybe she was just trying to be frugal or saving the environment or something. But I mean, that's also something one could consider, because you just pull, and sometimes, especially when it gets a bit smaller, then it's less weight and it just like flies off and you just rip it and use it. It's just, thoughtless.
It is. Humans can be quite thoughtless. We saw a TEDx talk about a guy who was showing you how to dry your hands if you were in a public bathroom using only one square of that paper towel stuff, because a lot of people just pull a whole lot. And then going even more extreme, for a lot of people this is going to be a bit out there. I think it's a little bit out there for me as well.
Sorry in advance.
We met a lady and her mum once who both had a wash rag in the bathroom for their own number ones, and they each had their own sealed bin. And then obviously that wash rag went into the wash at the end of the day or whatever. But and it's not the first time I've heard about that, but it's something.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit too far on the hippie side for me. I mean, you never know. I'm doing things nowadays that I wouldn't have dreamed of 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So You know, maybe that will come, but we're not telling anyone.
I've heard that ladies who go on long, like through hikes and things, they have something called a bandana because, you know, obviously toilet paper is bulky to carry and whatever, and a bandana is just like it's
a cloth or what?
It's a bandana, which is for your
Oh, so
van,
you just...
your van JJ. Anyway,
Vangela. Who's blushing now, eh?
Anywho, now then after this, because we've got a little bit more tips for you, then we went to our Google and we asked what other timeless frugal habits should we bring back. And this one's cool if you are a gardener. They suggested trading seeds and plant cuttings instead of going to the what do you call those things? Nurseries, because that can add up quickly.
Yes, exactly. Using cash for budgeting. This is super interesting. I don't think many people do this anymore, but it's coming back.
I don't know, it's called something, yeah.
Yeah. Where you use an envelope system with cash allocations in it to control your spending.
Yeah, which is great in theory. It just depends on how you handle your budget. It won't really work for us. We tried it in the past and it did work. So that's definitely something if you're struggling with your budget.
To have it physically sorted into its categories,
Bartering and Trading, I also thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I read this book called Locavore, and they were bartering like... you know, I grew all the baby marrows and you've got some oranges or whatever, and you do that, or maybe it's also for services.
Yeah, I mean, a good example is I'm doing some therapy at the moment, physical therapy, and it's coming to an end, the subscription that I bought, and the lady said, because it's helping me, she said she would be very happy to do an energy exchange, so I can do something for her and she'll carry on with the therapy for me, which I thought was
that's amazing.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Best news ever.
Great way to stop spending money.
Yeah.
This is something we do a lot locally, I think. I don't know, in the US I don't think it's
I think it depends where you are.
Yeah, basically what we're talking about is line drying your clothes instead of putting them in a tumble dryer.
Yeah.
Which is like, we had a tumble dryer for a while. It's expensive because here electricity is expensive. Yeah. And I think it's harder on your clothes as well. So like just as a matter of habit, and you can hang your clothes outside or inside on a foldable thingy. So
yeah, a drying rack. Then there's cloth napkins and reusable cleaning rags, and we can add hankies into that as well. Yeah, I mean we don't really use paper for much, actually anything.
No, we pretty much no, we don't buy paper towels. We bought a packet of serviettes for your birthday picnic, which we haven't even opened, so we're saving that for another picnic. But in our daily lives, it's all cloth, which is just...
We've got hankies, the cleaning things are all cloths.
Better for the environment, better for your pocket.
Exactly.
There we go.
Plus you're throwing less away.
That's the environment.
Oh, that's the environment.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to be a bit more Captain Obvious.
Did you like that? Preserving food.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We don't do this one.
We haven't done it at all, and we probably won't. They do talk about fermenting, which we've been thinking about doing, but I don't know. Haven't we thought about kimchi and stuff? Maybe not.
No, definitely not.
Was that just a
bit
bad dream?
to make, yeah.
Anyway, if you've got I think if you've got the time and the space, it's a good thing. Like
we have made coconut yogurt. I mean, that's a thing of a type of fermentation.
Yeah, but it's not preserving food. Am I being Captain Obvious now?
Well, anyway.
Okay, we're waffling. Let's just move on to the next one.
Pickling, fermenting and freezing. Those are the three things.
Yes, and let us know if you do that or if you think you'll do that. And one day when we don't have to actually work to earn our money, then we'll come back here. Hello, we've started.
It's going to be next week.
Collecting rainwater. I remember my grandparents on the farm did this. My nana did this. That's like
when we had that terrible drought here, everybody did it.
Yeah,
people install tanks, but we also, lots of people put buckets and stuff out when it rained.
Yeah, or when it didn't rain.
Yeah.
In the showers. Apparently it's going to be another dry winter, so we're probably going to have to go double down on that.
Yeah.
This is another great one.
Yeah. Using hand tools over power tools.
Yeah, and here in our complex, we've got a guy that works for the block, and he does the gardening and stuff, and we've got an old-fashioned push mower that he uses.
Yeah, so he doesn't use a petrol or electric anything.
And then like for cutting sides and whatever, it shears, so that's really clever.
Yeah.
I don't know what other...
I guess there, like a lot of people use electric, the things that, screwdrivers.
Yeah.
You can use, depending, because I think sometimes they're a bit tight and then you can't do it by hand. I don't know.
Yeah, just think where you could actually, like electric can openers, electric bread slicers.
Oh, okay, those aren't tools.
They're not tools, but
they're gadgets, I guess.
Yes, but they fall into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully this long and waffly list has given you something to think about, to say,
Hang on, Ange. Wait a minute. There's one more.
Oh yes, my Nana's tip. This was so funny. So my Nana, just to give you some little backstory, was so frugal. My mum always used to say she lived like a millionaire on her government pension, which was like teeny tiny, and she really did. She always had the best biscuits, imported biscuits and stuff. So she's been gone for a long time, and so I messaged my one cousin who was close to her, and I said, what things did Nana do that was like really frugal? So she was telling me about baking bread and stuff, and then she said my Nana decided that she loved making tea, but drinking tea, so instead of fresh milk, she put a teaspoon of condensed milk in her tea, because she said that it lasts much longer. It doesn't go off like fresh milk does, and then so it's more cost effective over the long run.
And you probably don't have to use sugar with condensed milk.
She might have. I don't know, but I thought it was so cute that she had this like tin of condensed milk sitting somewhere. I mean, that stuff is sweet,
Hectic.
So
is that a local thing or is that a global thing, condensed milk?
I'm sure it's an everywhere thing.
Let us know if you have it where you are.
I reckon it's like, it's junk food. Everyone has it. Anyway, so those are all our tips.
Yeah, that's it. So, as usual, if we've missed anything or you've got something great that we didn't cover, please comment below and let the community know. And maybe it's even something that we can try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long as it's not pickling.
Yes, so long as it's not pickling.
Or darning socks. Anyway.
Or fermenting.
Okay,
or
now
cloths for number ones. Ange wants to finish the video.
We've waffled for long, hey?
Yeah. Are you guys still there? Hello?
Anyway, if you enjoyed our waffling, please hit subscribe, the like button, the notification bell, share it with your friends. Did I say bell or bowl?
I think you said bowl, but I think they know because you don't get a notification.
All that good stuff. Share it, love it, engage with it, all that good stuffs. And then
until next time, keep it simple,
keep it old-fashioned frugal,
and age with intention.
Bye! Bye-bye! Bye! Bye-bye! You can have some of my tea now. More tea now.
Cheers!